Yo, we ready to get right into it. I was trying to link some stuff up. Turns out I was using the wrong source. Anyways, let's get right into it.
Part of the WWE 2K team since 2K19, working on my career, which then became MyRISE. And Andrea, you joined us on 2K22, I believe, right?
I did. I started with 2K22, and I've been here ever since. Started when I was still working for SmackDown, and then came over onto the video game side.
I actually wrote for SmackDown and WWE years ago, back in 2004, 2005. Andrea and I are both big fans, and having that unique shared experience has really paid off in a lot of ways when it comes to creating MyRISE.
Are you ready?
Okay, let's do it. If you don't want spoilers, turn back now.
It's not often that the
None other than Triple H in the ring. We got the new Raw graphics we're showing off.
major news to share.
Well, let's hear what the game has to say.
As you all know, we've been building a new era in WWE, a direction that's bolder than anything you've ever seen before. But to forge this path, we need talent who can rise to the occasion. Whether that's someone who's already here or an outsider ready to step in and lead the charge. Who is going to be the superstar?
I had the privilege of getting to go to the new WWE headquarters to direct Triple H for this voiceover. It was really cool, like sort of a full circle moment for me. I worked with Triple H back in the days of Evolution on a lot of backstage segments. I even worked with him in some SmackDown segments. He was just starting to branch out on his off days to producing other storylines and other talent. And it was just amazing, you know, to see him at the new headquarters and see what he's built. And we're just so lucky to work with like the stacked roster and amazing storylines that they have going on right now.
And become the leader of this new era.
Oh, first big choice.
Now we're starting off with the WWE draft, and we're getting the first choice of where we want to compete. Now, this year's story is a co-branded story between the men's and the women's division, but we're going to have to choose here where we want to compete first. So what do you think, Sean, the men's or the women's division?
Yeah, and just to be clear, you know, if you choose women's, you will have a men's division character come into play later in the story and vice versa. But I think let's go women's division.
This individual is
Of course, Triple H immediately recognizes your choice and is talking you up, putting you over, as they say.
for greatness already.
You also get to choose where you're coming from, whether you're already in the WWE system as a big star on one of the brands, or if you're coming from the outside, another promotion, or maybe even a slightly different background from MMA. We're excited to see what choices players make on their MyRISE journey, as well as what decisions they might make differently on a second playthrough, because that's what's going to affect the outcome of their experience.
As a decorated champion from MMA. That's right.
I know.
Ooh,
I know.
Who I'm talking about.
yeah, Triple H's new character model looks great, by the way. Shout out to the character team.
Yeah. The cool thing about MyRISE is, you know, we're tasked every year to come up with a new story, but in thinking about what that story is, we have the privilege of being able to showcase the work from all of the other teams within our game. From, you know, what Sean just called out, the character work on Triple H's model, to new arenas, to new gameplay mechanics. And, you know, if we do our jobs correctly, MyRISE really is a showcase for everyone across the team.
This is where we're going to go into cast to make our women's division character, and we'll see you on the other side. Look at that MMA themed load screen. Good record, 13-2.
We were pretty good. Look at our girl.
All right, this is a brand new feature that we're excited about. That is custom designed casual attire, folks, that we designed in CAS. It's not casual attire that we're forcing you to wear. Of course, that is an option. There is a default casual attire if you don't want to make your own. But, you know, we've heard people say, hey, why am I wearing the same clothes for 4 years of a MyRISE story? Well, now you don't have to. You can set your own casual attire.
And it's cheaper than doing laundry.
Oh, Troy Simpkins back.
We're here in the hub. If you've played MyRISE before, you recognize this setup. Talking to one of our fan favorites,
Hello there.
WWE producer Troy Simpkin.
I'm Troy Simpkin, seasoned and esteemed WWE producer.
Hey, Troy. Nice to meet you, too.
We are so excited for your arrival at WWE. There's been so many successful crossover stars between MMA and sports entertainment, and we think you could be bigger than all of them.
Thanks. I think so too. So, what's the plan?
We want to get you acclimated to a WWE ring before the draft. So you're going to head down to the Performance Center. We've even lined up some training partners with MMA experience to make you feel comfortable.
So right out of the gate for your first match, you have a choice of your first opponent at the PC. Now, if you'll notice, for the first time, the game as a whole is supporting intergender matchups. So we're able to represent Shinsuke as one of these options here between Shinsuke, Sonya, and Shayna. I don't know. I feel like we should show off this new feature and challenge Shin at the Performance Center, Sean.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's take on Shinsuke.
I'd love to mix it up with Shinsuke Nakamura.
Excellent. Just be sure to lay low down there. We want your debut at the draft to be a huge surprise.
I'll do my best.
I believe we have another superstar, yeah, Becky Lynch to talk to. Becky looks great here. This is a unique attire for MyRISE. Let's see what Becky has to say. We got to record with Becky, by the way, on the same day we recorded Seth. They did back-to-back sessions. Both knocked it out of the park. Super fun to work with. You may even hear, if you play into the story and make specific choices, you might get to hear Becky do a Bailey impression, which was a ton of fun. She crushed it. Hilarious.
Even though it'd be a spoiler, I might...
Yeah, I'd say one of the biggest perks of our job is getting to work with superstars on voiceover. They always are extraordinarily excited to come to the recording sessions amid everything else they have to do. In some cases, they even ask us about things that happened in the last game.
Trust anyone. I once had someone steal my oatmeal and still haven't found the rotten culprit 3 years later.
Speaking of things that happened in the last game, you see Becky still upset here about the person who stole her oatmeal way back on 2K23. Credit to our writers, Matthew Thompson and Alex Greenfield. They're amazing. They've been working with us on the last few MyRISEs. Also want to shout out our super talented design team. None of this would be possible without them. Should we go to the match?
I think we're ready to take Shin.
So this is us getting acclimated to a WWE ring for this upcoming draft where the rumors are we might be the #1 pick.
Now, the WWE Performance Center is not new to our game. You've seen it in MyRISE, you've seen it in the game as a whole, but we do have some new environments that you'll not only get to play in the game as a whole this year, but in the MyRISE journey. You'll get to brawl in the NXT parking lot, and there's also a very, very cool new brawl environment of the WWE archives, which may make an appearance in a certain storyline that we won't quite get to. Again, we warned you there would be spoilers, so sorry, not sorry about that.
I hate the commentary. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I want to skip some of this stuff. Some of this stuff doesn't really matter. I don't think it does. Alright, I might look at this.
Here and must be getting pulled in 100 different directions, so I'll try to make this quick.
No problem. And it's Kathy, right? Good to meet you.
So these are all custom lines you're getting here based on your background you selected.
What personality traits led to your success?
And this is a big branch point as well. In addition to choosing your background, you're getting to choose what personality type you are, and your personality type plays a bigger role than probably any of the other choices in the game at this point. We always try to represent a good balance of the types of stories that we tell in MyRISE, just like wrestling on television or at PLEs tries to achieve that balance as well. But we know that sometimes players like to play certain ways over others. So this year, you're actually going to get to choose what type of character you would like to personify in your journey. And this will not only have an impact on some of the lines that your character says throughout the MyRISE experience, but it'll actually have a difference on what stories you receive in your playthrough. And that's another big thing that contributed towards the replayability of the mode in this year.
Yeah, I think this is super cool. You know, if you think back to my career on 2K20, we had Trey. I love Trey. Shout out to Trey. Might even see Trey come back again someday. You never know. But he was a very comedic character, and some people loved it, and some people were like, you know what? I don't want to be a comedy wrestler. I want to be a Stone Cold type who's just, talking trash and kicking ass. And that's totally cool. I respect that. This year, what we did was we gave you the choice. Do I want to be a Trey? Do I want to be more of an R-Truth type, or do I want to be the bold and brash Stone Cold type, or a Becky Lynch, or scheming and calculated, which is really cool. That we were sort of thinking of that archetype as like a Seth Rollins or a Liv Morgan. So what do we want to choose here, Andrea? What do you think?
I'm really intrigued by scheming and calculated because I feel like that's the one that we haven't explored as much in past MyRISEs. So that would be my vote.
Let's do it.
Everything I do has a purpose. People like to say they're 2 steps ahead. Well, I'm 20. You can't survive on sheer strength and athleticism. You need to be scheming and calculated.
I can see how that got you here. So then, what can you say about the rumors that you'll be selected #1 overall tonight?
I'd say it's something I can use in my favor.
So again, these are all custom lines you're experiencing based on the personality choice that you just made.
Perceive me to be that much tougher to beat. I'll use any advantage I can get.
Well, I know you're busy, so I'll let you go for now.
Thanks, Kathy.
See you next time.
I mean, I don't think we'll need it, but...
Ooh, Triple H is here. Let's see what he's got to say.
Good to see you.
Hey, boss.
You feeling okay? I know it's tough. New surroundings, big expectations coming from a different sport. A lot of eyeballs on you tonight.
I've got all the angles covered. Kind of like this wrestler I used to watch growing up. What was his nickname? The Cerebral Assassin?
Never heard of him.
Yeah, I guess he didn't amount to much.
Good one. I gotta get going, but you should be proud of everything you've accomplished to get here. You've earned it. See you out there in a bit.
I mean, I think everything's gonna go smoothly here, right, Andrea?
Yeah, nothing to do but get drafted, I guess. See if we really are gonna be the #1 overall pick.
Here we go. We got Nick Aldis on stage. First time Nick Aldis being in MyRISE, looking great in his nice tailored suit. Nick also crushed it on voiceover. He was really fun to work with.
Yeah, both Nick and Adam Pearce, who's been in the game before, are well represented in the MyRISE story as GMs of Raw and SmackDown.
Here we go. Is it us? Is it IVN?
Select the future of WWE.
Oh, I know my music when I hear it, Sean. That's exactly what we chose.
Yep.
Good one. Talk about making a splash. Nick Aldis got himself a generational talent.
Oh, are we gonna hit the pose? Famous pose with Triple H.
Really lived up to the hype. Good luck topping this, Raw.
We got a bright future. Nothing can go wrong.
Stand by. There's some kind of technical issue here. Talk about ruining a moment. What the heck? Who was that? Oh, where's security? Can someone explain what just happened? Okay, got it. The draft.
Well, I want to know what happened.
Well, that didn't go as planned. What the heck was that all about? Lardon. Didn't we see a social media post earlier from Lardon? Plot thickens. Oh, look who it is. We got CM Punk. We're huge fans of CM Punk. He came in late on DLC, right, Andrea, for